Welcome back to the Proforma Family Kitchen. Hey guys, why did the chicken cross the road?
To get a duck?
Because you told a joke?
No, to try this chili.
Oh yeah, definitely. Is that cannibalism? I don't know.
Anyway, every recipe highlighted in today's episode features chicken in some capacity.
And they're definitely great ones to bring if you have a potluck, and that's why we're doing our chicken potluck. We're starting with the white chicken chili. We also have a nice dish with chicken and artichokes, and we're ending it with the springtime chicken delight.
Delight. Well, let's get things started with an award-winning white chicken chili submitted by Jim Joynt of Proforma Print Marketing. Thanks, Jim.
Is there any tips and tricks, maybe for me when I'm kind of putting it together in the kitchen, that you can give me to make it taste phenomenal?
Well, the best thing is to use the rotisserie chicken because that's got its seasoning to it, and it makes it a lot easier. I've made it with regular chicken thighs and stuff like that. It makes it a little bit longer process.
I love me a good chili, and I don't think I've had a chili with bacon in it recently. So that to me,
that's one of my favorites there. I mean, that gets added at the end. You just you cook that off on the side and crumble it up, and then you add it at the end, and then as soon as that's in, it's ready to serve. So
thank you again, Jim, and we look forward to eating this in the kitchen.
All right, great, thanks.
The first thing we're going to do is saute some onions with garlic and some jalapenos as well. Feel free to give that a little mix. Get that nice and aromatic. So now we're going to add a can of Rotel tomatoes. Let's have some chilies in there. You can give that a stir, keep going.
Ooh, that like settled
Now,
it
the
down.
recipe calls for canned corn. It says they don't usually do it, but you know what? We want to try it full up how it is, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Let's add our chicken. We got different spices in there, cumin, chili powder. You can definitely do other ones if you want. And then we're going to add our chicken stock to it. Got some good chicken stock right there. Pour the whole thing in. Now, you'll see in the recipe, it's stated that you add enough where it's almost a little soupy, and because the way we're going to thicken this at the end. So we're going to pretend like this simmered for a good bit.
All right.
It's simmering so good.
And here we go now that it's simmered. Whoa! In the end, we're going to put a pound of crispy bacon.
Oh, heck yeah.
You can cook that how you like to your doneness. I believe in the recipe they said oh, thank you.
Okie dokie.
They did it in an air fryer, or there's a lot of ways. I generally do it in the oven. And we're going to put a bunch of cream cheese in it.
Ooh, that's a unique one.
That's why I'm like, this will definitely get it creamy. And, you know, when we were setting up, someone said, is that typical? I'm like, not really, but it'd definitely be banging. Now, you want to stir this. I wouldn't use a whisk to break up the cream cheese because you're really going to break up the chicken a lot. And when you do a rotisserie chicken, when you pull it into the pieces, don't act like this is the exact size it'll be when it cooks. Let it be a little chunkier because it's going to break up as it cooks anyway.
I love cooking with rotisserie chicken. Season 1, actually, I made a recipe with rotisserie chicken. Check it out.
So now we're going to give it a try. Now, don't be hateful on there. Everyone watching, Catherine can't try. We don't want to, you know, send her to the hospital, and I don't know if she's got an EpiPen on her.
No,
she can't have peppers.
It's not that level of aggressive. It's more of I will get sick. So, but I am very happy. It smells delicious, and I can't wait to see what you guys think.
Fresh out the pot, right? I'm making sure I got a piece of bacon in mine.
Wow. I see why this recipe was award-winning. That's really good. That's going to be a tough one to follow up.
This is getting a banging award right here.
Well, we've got another chicken dish coming up that I think is going to wow us as well. So let's get started on this chicken and artichoke recipe dish submitted by Steve Spence of Proforma Rhino Graphics.
Hi, I'm Steve Spence. The recipe we submitted is a chicken and artichoke dish. It's a Mediterranean style dish. And we kind of found this in our search for being a little healthier, being quick and easy, especially in the evenings, because we don't want to spend the entire evening cooking, but we did want to be a little more healthy. So we love the dish. We love the flavors. And that's kind of what it's all about. I will tell you that if you're going to use this dish yourself, it's a 1 skillet piece. So we like that, easy cleanup. Make sure you do all the prep work beforehand. This dish cooks up pretty quickly once you start. So you want everything ready to go in.
So what we've already done for this recipe is we have some chicken breast that we've diced up and pounded so it's even, so it cooks evenly, and we've seared it off and got some color on it. And then in the same pan, we have our artichokes going, our onions, and our garlic as well.
That smells so good.
Right. So now that they've seared off nice, and if you used canned artichokes, make sure you drain them, try to pat them, that way they can get as much color. The same with frozen ones, make sure you thaw them and pat them off as well, because then you're just putting all this water in the pan and they can't get hot enough to get really brown and get a lot of flavor.
And we already made the chili, so.
Yeah. Right.
Chicken in?
Chicken in.
Chicken in.
There's our chicken. All right. And then we're gonna add our olives.
Your favorite.
Olives in.
Olives in. We've even got some juice from the olives, that's great as well. Some oregano. We got our oregano. Now this is dry, you can certainly use fresh.
Oregano, oh no.
Because I cannot do that.
What do you mean? What do you mean, man? And then with this as well, we're gonna add some chicken stock.
All right.
Now this is an extra large skillet that we have here at the house because I'm cooking for a lot of people. So to say that if you had a smaller one, you would put a lid over this and let it keep cooking. And then to that we would add, we have some peppadew peppers with the juice. Peppadew.
Peppadew.
Actually, it's peppadew peppers. They are, what kind of pepper? Yeah, you see a lot in South African cooking, right? Some feta.
Oh, cool. I love
So
feta.
at this point, it would have been covered. We would have uncovered it, right? And it would have finished cooking through. And some fresh parsley. Yeah, you don't want that to steam with it because you'll have brown parsley as well.
That looks so pretty.
And really, the seasoning that's in there, you season the chicken before it goes. Then you don't need a lot from everything else because, you know, artichokes are pretty seasoned. The olives, you know, you don't really need to add salt to olives. You know, they're salty enough.
Yes, they
so
are.
bitter, those olives, so salty. And also the feta is very salty as well. And really now, we're just gonna taste it right from that because the way it is in the recipe, it's right from a skillet, one pot meal. You don't have to worry.
All right. I think Steve knows what he's doing on this one. That looks amazing. So go ahead, guys, try it out.
Aw.
The peppers also, you know.
I didn't want to take away from your dish, Steve, and not put the pepper so Catherine can try. But
It's all good. I got to have the joy of saying peppadew.
enjoy saying peppadew.
Peppadew. Good. Thumbs, thumbs. Good thumbs. Double thumbs.
It gets a banging award for me. This is a good one.
Ooh. What do you think that would go with?
You know, being this has got like a little Greekness going to it with the olives and the artichokes and the feta. You know, later this season, we're going to be filming a baklava. So right there, you got a 2-course meal right there.
Be on the lookout for that episode.
The combination of the chicken and the artichoke really goes well together. So thank you so much for submitting this wonderful recipe. It was delicious.
Before we go, we have one more chicken recipe for you. James Hilgis, my uncle and godfather from our Proforma Support Center, has a springtime chicken delight I cannot wait to make. Thanks, Uncle James.
Well, we love it. It was created primarily by Cherie out of
necessity.
Yeah, necessity. I had the flu, and she came up with this chicken soup thing, and we just love it. It's so simple to make, and we think the taste is phenomenal.
One thing that you could do is add some carrots and peas to give it some color and some vegetables. Ours is a very basic recipe, but like I say, you can add celery, you could add the peas and carrots. You could add even more chicken if you want it even thicker, or even more soup if you wanted it even thicker, because you know, you could, like I say, you could also eat it over rice if you wanted to, but it's really good over the noodles.
Well, and another thing that I think is a big help is we cook the chicken in the oven, and we put a butter, salt, pepper, and garlic seasoning on it, and we don't do it by time. We do it by temperature. So we stick the probe in it, and once the chicken reaches 185, we pull it out, let it rest for about 15 or 20 minutes. Then we peel it off the bone, and we add the chicken just as the soup is done. And chicken super tender. It's delish.
Now, I've seen your uncle post this recipe, well, more the dish, not the recipe itself. And I'm looking forward to it. I know he loves cooking. Anytime he comes into town, we're always talking and everything, and you too, Cherie. So the first thing with this, just to catch us up to where we are right now, because we're sauteing some of our vegetables right now. This recipe calls for regular chicken thighs with skin and bones in it, right? And then you take that and then you simmer it in some water with different aromatics like some celery, some thyme, and some bay leaves.
You know when you say aromatic, I have to smell it. It's just part of the deal.
It's like, oh, the senses.
All right.
So with that, once the
What's
chicken's
next?
done simmering, you pull it apart and everything, and then we start, building it up. So you can add your chicken to that.
I'll
We
say, so it
sauteed our-
turns into this.
Yes. Then you pulled it. You want to take the skin and the bones out. There you go. Oops.
I don't have the hand strength that you guys have for the heat. Wah!
All right.
Do I mix?
Yeah, you can mix just a little bit just to break it up.
All right.
And at this point, you would put the chicken stock. Have some already in the back heating up. Excuse me, Catherine, just to save some time.
I'm excused.
Excuse me, guys.
Whoop! There you go. What do you think that look? How does that look?
Whoa. Give that a little mix.
All righty.
And then usually a lot of chicken noodle soup recipes, you put the noodles dry into the soup. That way they absorb some of the flavor and everything. You definitely got to add more stock then. The noodles we have right there, Mike, we're going to put about half of those in. Those I cook separately in broth ahead of time to save some time. Another great thing, if you cook the noodles in there, it's a great way to thicken the soup because the noodles are going to absorb some of the liquid as well, right? Mm-hmm. Give that a mix. Yeah. And then last, that really makes this unique, this dish, we put some cream of chicken in there.
That is
so
the
it's not like
best.
your regular chicken noodle soup. It's that it's got a little creaminess to it as well.
Creamy.
Creamy chicken noodle soup. You can use that to stir it up.
All
Pass
right.
that to you, sir.
Back to the stirring. I go. Wait, I feel like I'm like a witch's brew.
Toil, toil,
Yeah, right.
boil in trouble.
Yes. Thank you, Uncle James.
Here we go, Uncle James.
Yay!
Let's pass it down so everybody can get reach.
Excited.
And look, you get to try. See, you got to eat this episode.
got
You're
to
such a
eat
good
something.
host.
Yay!
Such a good hostess.
Thanks. I can't wait to try.
I mean, he speaks it up a lot.
Oh, I
so.
know. So my uncle has the best laugh. I can confirm this springtime chicken delight is indeed a delight.
It definitely is. It's definitely really good. Great, James, honestly. Really, really good. Love the cream of chicken in there.
That was good. Big shout out to Jim, Steve, and James for these incredible recipes. Until next time, Proforma family, remember to
Chef it up.